Hi everybody, Honest John here. Now, the great majority of the protests that have occurred in this country have been peaceful. When there has been violence, much of it has been done by people who were against the cause that the people were demonstrating for. And of course, then there's always people who were just out for themselves, out to get some stuff. So, even though most of the protests have been peaceful, there has been violence, there have been riots, there has been looting, there has been attacks on police, and there will be more. I wish there wouldn't be, but it is almost certain to happen. And of course, the rioting and looting and attacks on police will be condemned, as they should be. But people are always talking about the root causes of these kind of things, and the root causes of crime and all that. And people assume that we're talking about things that are subtle and maybe even a little bit mysterious. It's really not. Actually, it's clear, obvious, and simple. Lawlessness breeds lawlessness. And when the people in power are lawless, then that filters down. People lose respect for the law. For many of the citizens of this country, there is no law enforcement. The police are just another criminal gang that preys on them. The courts, they're not where you get justice, they're just a tool that oppresses them. This can be clearly seen in Louisville, in the Breonna Taylor case. There was a complete and total disregard for the law and the rights of the people in that apartment by the police. They knew that the suspect in that case wasn't in the apartment. He was in their custody. They knew that. They also knew that he and Breonna Taylor were no longer involved with each other. They hadn't seen each other in months. They had no reason to suspect that there were drugs or money in that apartment. So in order to get the warrant for that raid, they lied. If they had told the judge the truth, they would never have gotten the warrant. And they continued to lie after the incident. And they were backed up by other police, by their bosses, by the city attorney. And for months, this cover-up went on. The police and the city attorney tried to destroy Breonna Taylor's reputation. They offered her ex-boyfriend a plea deal if he would implicate her in criminal activities. Unfortunately, he refused. This guy, who has the label of criminal, had more integrity than the police and the prosecutors, the people who were prosecuting him. And then we have Daniel Cameron, the state's attorney general, talking about following the law and the facts, while at the same time ignoring the fact of the cover-up and accepting as true statements that probably are not, that are contradicted by witnesses who were right near where Breonna Taylor lived. And instead, he takes the testimony of somebody who lived way down the hall and accepts that as true, and accepts the police's testimony as true. Cameron is black, but he's a Mitch McConnell protege. And so you know that there was no chance at any real justice right from the start. So you have the police the city attorney, the state attorney general, all showing complete disregard for the law, justice, and the facts. So when they call on their citizens to abide by the law, to respect the law, why should anyone listen to them? And it doesn't stop there, does it? It's all over the country and all the way to the top. Mitch McConnell is the Senate Majority Leader, and he and his wife have been involved in a whole bunch of incredibly shady deals. We see all kinds of politicians in power, including the president, Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the criminal in chief in this country. He's stealing from us every day. He has a total disregard and disrespect for the law. So why should the people out in the streets pay any attention to them when they wave their finger at them and tell them to behave themselves? And of course, we all remember all the criminal behavior that led to the financial meltdown in 2008. And the fact that none of those rich and powerful people went to jail for it. So if people can get away with stealing millions of dollars, what's wrong with me stealing a flat screen TV from Walmart? If the law doesn't apply to the rich and powerful, why does it apply to me? And if the cops can get away with murdering me, then there's nothing wrong with me murdering them. Now let me be clear, I am not justifying or encouraging violence or law breaking in any way. What I'm saying is that the root causes of this is the lack of respect for the law that people in power, that the people who are supposed to be the agents of the law are showing to it. We have to attack the root causes of crime, the root causes of violence. Well, those root causes are not out on the street. They're in the offices of the rich and powerful, in the halls of Congress, and in the White House. Thanks for listening.